pub.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's fucking freezing.
Have they found Julian Sands yet?
What?
Julian Sands.
What about him?
Warlock, he's missing. On
What?
a mountain. The actor
No.
Julian Sands, yeah.
Oh,
He
for
went
fuck's
up into the mountain range, 65-year-old, fit as a fiddle, up in the mountains. Some kind of storm of the century. I think he's disappeared.
Oh my God! What
I think he's
mountains
been missing
where?
for a few days. In America somewhere, some big
Oh,
Sierra Leone.
Jesus.
Sierra,
Oh my God!
Sierras. Yes.
No, I've not heard about that.
Well, he made that film Boxing Helena. Now it's going to be Boxing Julian. I like Julian Sands.
I like him as well.
Arachnophobia.
He's wonderful. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
he's
great
good.
in that. Actually,
He was one of the early thesps.
he's
that just
very.
thought, I'll
yeah.
just suck this Hollywood cock.
Yeah.
He was there before Paddy Stewart
Yeah,
and Ian
he's-
McKellen.
Yeah, he's.
Because how Ian McKellen started, and he could. It was like he was sniffing a piece of shit. He was doing it, but he was slumming it.
Yeah.
And Paddy going about in the Enterprise. Get him? Well,
Have you ever see him, Patrick Stewart, with his wig on for his screen
oh,
test?
Jesus Christ!
And some people should just not have hair.
No, he's.
It's not because you're not used to it. It just no
he's got
matter
a
what
nice
way you
head
put
shape.
it.
Nice head shape.
Oh, mine's is terrible. I went bald and it looks like just it looks like a testicle.
Speaking of bald men, old fucking Crosby.
yeah,
It's fucking guy for Crosby, Stills and Nash died this morning.
get the
18.
fuck.
Him with the tash. Yeah.
Oh my God,
But he-
really?
Yeah. He did 9 months in jail in the 80s.
Did he?
Yeah.
Drugs?
Him and Nash really fell out.
Oh God, okay. I didn't know this. I've not. Now
Lovely
the thing
vocals.
is,
You don't-
today's
you're
show.
not keeping.
Wait,
Men of
No.
your vintage just always check the obituaries. I'm surprised.
it's
Do
today's
you know
show.
Hitler died when he's 56?
Oh, shut up. Today's news. Today's show is news,
Oh God, what news?
and I don't have any. Well, you've kind of scuppered it because you've got better news. Not better news. It's awful news, but it's pure. Julian Sands has gone missing.
What was his name? Crosby. Is it
Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young is dead.
Young's still with us.
He's still
Nash
going.
is the 60s generation. They're all coming to the end of that.
It's coming to the end.
It is. It's all of them.
just what happens.
The thing is, the 60s will all be gone, then the 70s lot will last for a while, but then 80s are all dead already.
That's a good point.
The
That'll
80s, they're
yeah.
all gone.
So, news.
Let's hear it.
We haven't had a news one in a while. So the reason I wanted to do news is because you phoned me in shock
I was
yesterday.
traumatized.
Because you done what I done last week. I haven't been through the whole town in ages.
They say that you can get ADHD from a traumatic event. I've got
Okay.
ADHD now.
I know you do. I know you do.
ADHD.
And Dundee, I've put it as Dundee seems to be closed.
It's like Beirut at the height of their problems.
Everything's shut.
It's like Belfast when things were getting a bit spicy. It's not good, and it's no terrorism. It is terrorism. It's cultural terrorism. It's incompetence from the council leader.
Yes. Everything's shut.
It's all the grift.
Everything's got closing down on
How
it.
can you bribe somebody when there's no money there?
That's a good point.
Can all their council corruption? How can they get away with it? There's nobody to squeeze.
The rates are like
Imagine you were running a
50%.
protection racket in Dundee.
Oh,
You'd be
you're scared.
protecting.
You'd be on the dole.
You're just hanging about empty buildings.
Now, here's the thing. The problem is with Dundee Council. Now, when I was a kid, they opened the Nethergate, and the Nethergate was going to be a shopping centre like the Wellgate. And you would walk through it and go into the bridge to the rail station. Now, the thing is, they said that's going to bring people through. And that. The rates were so high from the day it opened to the day it closed. They never had anyone in it. They didn't change the rates. They didn't do anything. The cost, everything was so high.
Has it been demolished?
It's all closed now. The bridge is gone, and that's all shut
The
up.
Sky
And I think
Bridge.
it's all-
Dundee
yeah,
had a
it's all-
Sky Bridge. It
Well,
had
the
a smell to it.
The problem with the bridges is that there was a bridge going across to the leisure centre,
Yeah.
and there was one going across the railway
Yeah, I
station.
remember them well.
And they crossed main roads.
Yeah, they did.
Now, they said, oh, these are dangerous.
Uh-huh.
But there hadn't been any muggings, there hadn't been any reports of anything
Yeah.
on them. What they wanted to do is modernise the city.
Yeah.
Pull them down and make road crossings. So now you've got to cross
It's dangerous.
dangerous fucking roads.
You have to, three motorways.
Yeah.
And it's people trying to get through Dundee quick, so they're no slowing down.
And a lot of people miss the lights and go straight through.
Has there been people hit there? You have to cross two motorways to go and see your Ed Sheeran.
Yes. It's so dangerous.
On the big bit of grass.
And they said they were comparing it to some, I can't remember what cities they were. And they were comparing it to modernising them like some European cities. But the European cities that were mentioned are actually taking them away and putting bridges in because they weren't safe.
Bridges are safer.
So, and there were big bridges and enclosed, and it was great if it was raining. You got all the way through. It was
all you had to listen to buskers, which
that
I
was
hate.
me.
I'd rather get hit back. Did you busk there
for years?
I probably saw you. You can't.
For years and years.
God, I used to just. What I'd do is I'd do it like an Ethan Hunt. I'd climb out onto the surface and just scuttle along the top of the skyway rather than listen to the busker.
You occasionally had arseholes and stuff like that, busking, but most people were really nice. Most people were 99%.
Did you have a spot?
No, there was a few people. You had to get there early. Okay. And if you were there was only one person per bridge.
What was the songbook you would?
Oh, nothing. I would just play.
Just noodle.
Yeah.
Oh,
just
wonderful.
play. And there was one guy coming across, kind of bloated, and he was leading a group of people. And he was in his suit. I remember the suit was black with a sort of checked white shirt and a blue tie. And he was bloated.
Oh.
And he walked along.
Success.
And he opened his wallet, and it was all notes. And he went through the notes. He pulled out a penny and went, "Don't spend it all at once," and put it on the ground. And before I could speak, there was this little blonde girl walking with him in her sort of suit and everything as well. She went, "God, you're a cunt." Right to his face, "You're a cunt." And he went, "Who do you think you're talking to?" She goes, "That's the shittiest thing I've ever seen." So I just shut up. And he went, "You realise who you work for?" She went, "Oh, that was terrible. I can't believe you just did that. I'm disgusted," and just walked away. She was an employee. And I think there's been a lot going on, and she just saw this happen and went, "You cunt."
Yeah.
She just said
that is the stereotypical Dundee business. Dundee specialises in fat, fucking slimy toads.
That's
one of my works is a cafe there, and it's filled with shady Dundee businessmen. Their offices will just be a skip somewhere, but they bring people in there because it gives them credit. Why don't we meet for our meeting in the cafe?
Yeah, no, this is correct.
Ambulance chasers, fucking dinghy car companies.
You know what? I know who you're actually talking about. I could name them, but I'm not going to.
No.
But I know who you're talking about.
They got rid of this guy. I was never in that Nethergate once. I've never been through it. Did it not become like a business?
It's a business sort of area now. Like everything that fails, we'll turn it into offices. But that was meant to be shops and everything.
Well, there's two. People don't know Dundee. We've got the two shopping centres. We've got the Overgate and the Wellgate.
Yeah.
And the Overgate was like shambolic back in the day, wasn't it? It was a hellscape.
It was concrete.
There was a place that sold bongo drums. That's all I can remember.
That's exactly.
And it was next to the Angus Thistle Hotel, which had a pub in it, which was rough as fuck.
Yes.
They demolished it. They rebuilt the Overgate. It's
been there 20 years now.
The Overgate's been there 20
years.
It's not a bad looking centre.
It's a beautiful building.
Yeah, it's not a bad centre. It's on a nice curve, a slow curve.
And they made a huge glass front.
So Dundonians, they've got one short leg, so it just takes you around the bend. But it's very expensive to have premises in there.
It's prices that you would pay in New York, apparently.
Jesus. But they do, whatever they do, they keep it pretty full.
They keep it full. At the moment, I notice there's a few places shutting down.
Yeah, but they're not too bad. The Wellgate, which used to be better than Overgate.
The Wellgate is huge.
It's the worst thing.
And
it doesn't, the escalators don't work.
Nah.
They're always missing parts. Women and dogs, children get dragged into them all the time.
And now it's like a market on the bottom.
The bottom is like Marrakesh.
Yes.
It's a series. It's like a souk.
Yeah, a souk, exactly.
You've got a guy that sells leather jackets. You've got multiple phone repair guys that are always fighting with these daggers with each other. You've got a woman that sells like carved lizards. And gorillas.
This is it.
There used to be a bubble tea shop.
Oh my God.
Fucking hell, it's horrible.
Everything's closed.
I think they put in Borders Books. Is it Borders Books? Kind of one that sells the dingy books.
The Works.
Shit paint.
Yeah.
Everyone's shite.
Now the thing
is,
open? Well, it is open, but the Works has had a closing down sale now for 28 years.
Oh no, that's a business model.
Right,
that's
for 28 years. But I'm not too sure when the closing down sign goes on, it's going to be a real one. I feel if it's not printed and it's handwritten, they're going to be in trouble because there's no way they're making money now. Nobody's making money. Now, I went through the food court.
It's all the little tat you would buy online.
Yeah, what's... Now, I went through the food court last week.
The food court.
There was one place open. You went through this week and that's shut.
There's a cafe on the first floor.
Yes.
Which is just pensioners, just people with emphysema seem to shop there.
Yeah, there's
exclusively.
There's a smell.
It's next to like a Home Bargains.
Yeah.
With one of the cardboard policemen on it. But you go into the first floor, which was the food court, which had a Spud You Like. I think there was a Subway and a Burger King.
Yeah.
I was there at 11 o'clock in the morning. Burger King is shuttered. There's one person in the whole place, and he's got his own sandwiches he's brought.
Our food court. You have to bring your own food.
They've thought, how are we going to bust this open? They've got a fucking glass house full of succulents, and you can buy cactus from it, but you have to inquire in another shop, which was itself shut. There's charity shop. There's a
we're dying.
There's basically like a soup kitchen. It's a community food place, and it seems to be you get served food by junkies.
Oh no!
So there's a good chance you'd find a toe or something in your goulash.
This is amazing.
And it's like selling toothbrushes and.
This is a time of social flux.
Yes.
Now, the reason I bring it up is because where I live, there's a pub, a very old one, and it's gone.
I was speaking to a gentleman the other night.
It's gone.
Who I used to work in the doors with. And he drank there back in the day about 30 years ago, and he said the place was hoaching. His old man went there all the time.
So busy.
His old man was there more than in
10 years ago, people couldn't get in.
Yeah.
Now,
it's strange that if that place has faltered and died, they're all fucked. That kind of old style pub is done.
Yeah.
Done.
It's done.
Done.
So, what I saw though, there's a couple of young guys opened, is it an IPA sort of craft?
Where?
It's in Dundee somewhere. Now, it's a craft beer place. Now,
that means there's 3 bespoke beer places.
But hold on.
Artisan beers.
You could say that's a daft time to open it, or that's the future of drink. Not like a Haddos, not anything like that. But
mate, there's on Reform Street, there's been a Victoria Wines that's been shut for 20 years. They've never filled the property.
Never filled it, yeah.
I despise vape shops.
Hate vape shops.
You know places are doomed when there's a vape. You get a shonky dentist in a vape shop.
Or like a cash generator type place. They all open.
Yeah, but there's IPA, there's a place, there's a law brewery. There's 3. There's 3. Now, and what they had was like a tap room.
Right.
So it's not a pub.
Right.
It's like
it's
a little cosy space and they do tours. That's the future.
Evolution.
Yeah.
Remember, it was all little shops. There's a picture of the Lochie Road, and all the way down it years ago it was shops.
Yeah.
From Lochie into the town, shops, hundreds.
Little independent guys.
Then it changed.
Okay.
And the shopping centres and the supermarkets came along, and people said that's them dying. Unfortunately, that's what happens. It evolves.
Yeah.
And now we're evolving again.
They're all dead.
It's evolving again. So what's going to happen now?
In the big Tesco superstores they used to build, they're like having problems.
Yeah.
So they're now back. Tesco's are investing in city centre shops.
Yeah.
It's isn't it weird?
It is weird. I mean, things are going to evolve.
But Dundee's problem is, you even go to Perth, you go to fucking Fife, there's little businesses, a local shoemaker, there's Dundee gutted all the independents.
Don't have it. Too expensive.
It all became just chains. And there's a place did you notice a place in the Wellgate as well? Bliss Beds.
Yes.
Dundee's independent bed supplier.
Not a single person in it.
Nobody in it. They've
80
got
beds.
They've got 2 spaces, 2 vast areas with 2 or 3 beds in it. Awful.
Well, the thing is,
our next door neighbours have got a very large site there.
Right.
The Antics.
Yes.
It's huge.
It's huge.
And there's a gym which is busy as fuck.
Well, that's a good sign for people. That's one of the problems.
Yeah.
That's one of the problems. I was listening to this thing about the issues that are coming with people not drinking, smoking and getting healthy.
So what are they doing with this?
They're going to get older.
Oh.
And there's going to be more healthcare problems in the future than there are now.
Because people
who drink and smoke die quick.
It doesn't matter how fit you get to be. You're still going to be an old fud.
Yes.
Doesn't matter. And to be honest, we're on the running machine all the time. Your knees will be fucked by the time you're 70.
Well, my hip's feeling it now, man. And I'll tell you something, right?
Oh my God, this is so depressing.
Here's what happens, right? You've got people from a generation before us smoking and drinking a lot,
okay.
right? they died essentially younger and quicker.
Oh yeah, they did. Yeah.
Right? So the strain on the NHS from them wasn't as bad. Their pensions weren't paid out.
No.
Now there's going to be needing a lot of pensions because people are keeping healthier. And it's like it used to be. There's a thing where it's 1 in 3 people, I think it's 1 in 2 get cancer now.
Yeah.
People go, why is all this cancer happening? It's
Well,
not.
folk are living longer.
We're getting older.
Yeah.
We're getting older.
What we kind of need is a pincer movement.
Okay.
We need a mixture of the Hunger Games to clip the young off.
Okay.
And then we need a Logan's Run to get them when they're old.
Yeah.
I think both of us would be dead, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is not a great
we need
plan.
to-
I'm not liking this.
Just do it for a 5-year period.
Just 5.
Death arenas. Just in 5.
Just 5.
Big
That's
wi-
kind of like
bit
that
of-
anyway.
like in that Amaze thing, it's on the telly all the time. You
Yeah.
can have a hoose.
Okay.
Well, do something similar, but a death arena. So you
Okay.
get a giant hoose, but you've got to have killed 30 or 40 people. But no age limits. You could be fighting a toddler. You could be fighting a paraplegic. 'Cause somebody in a wheelchair could really... I've seen that murder ball come when they play,
Oh, yeah.
Cam?
Dangerous.
play it in the dark. That would even the odds. I could
What if someone's blind?
Oh, I know. Well,
Then they've got an advantage.
no, put cheese in their ears.
They've got... You know
Cheese
the
in their
clicking thing they
That
do now?
click- Well, not all of them. There's one guy does it.
No, they get taught to do it now.
There's one guy does it.
No, you get taught to do it.
Yeah,
And
they get taught
you
it.
get they do a thing that clicks for you, and you can hear the changes in it, so you don't need to do it, and it's more
It's quite
effective.
simple. Just bat DNA.
Bat DNA.
Just inject
Now,
bat
see,
DNA.
you used a sentence there, and you went quite simple. Bat DNA. They don't go together, dude. They don't go together.
Just get a bat.
You know, we were talking about. Oh, here's another
Do you know
one.
how they learned that bats had echolocation?
Oh.
This guy blinded a load of bats, and they could be a pin, and they could still fly a bit.
Do you know bees can tell time?
Possibly, I would have imagined that.
No, you know how they've done it?
There's the same bee at my window every morning.
Every day,
starting
they would get up the same time.
Uh-huh.
They would do the same thing at the same points of every
Okay.
day. They put them on a plane,
Oh.
right?
Uh-huh.
Flew them to another country. They got jet lag.
Oh, no.
They couldn't figure out the time.
Poor wee things.
They were doing it all
I
the
like
wrong
honey
time,
as
but
well.
they were doing it on their time.
So I don't know what the future of Dundee is. I said to I was in a bad mood about it.
Yeah.
I phoned my dad. I was on the phone with my dad, and I was just a bit dispirited about the whole thing with the malaise. I said, I've got a serious malaise. And he said, his attitude was, well, it's Amazon that's done it. And he's kind of got a point.
No, he's got a point.
But the thing is, I don't know what the answer is. What is the answer when you're teetering on the abyss? The thing is, people will always buy stuff, but it's got to be nice local things.
It's got to be. I think this is why, even though I've had a very bad month financially,
Yeah.
that's why Mines exists, because
Yeah.
I'm making it very unique.
Yeah.
And that's
Well,
where it's gonna
anything
come.
you do is unique.
It's
That's
unique,
that's
that's
very
true.
true.
But also on a more depressing, well, not more depressing, it stays with it. Paper Chase.
I hate Paper Chase.
Yeah, but
It's the most
they've gone
overpriced
into
shit.
in its administration. It's
Oh, that's over.
3,000 jobs.
Jesus. The stuff is so overpriced.
Yeah, but it could be gone.
Yeah.
Like
well,
almost.
It's too
Yeah.
too expensive.
Isn't that scary?
How can you compete? Well, I mean, it's sad, but if I'm buying like a pack of Sharpie pens,
Yeah,
I buy them on Amazon.
of course you do. That's the
I'm
only way
not
to
going
do
to
it.
buy one pen out of shop for like two. It's
Yeah,
oh no.
I saw that in Tesco's. It was
I bet you
like,
there'll be
you know,
nothing
zebra-
left, but yeah.
zebra pens.
Yeah,
I
good
like them.
pens,
They're
good
good pens. And I went up, and it was like £4 for them, and I got them online for the same packet for £1 from
Jesus.
Amazon. It
Oh
was
my God.
there the
You
next
feel
day.
bad about it, but you'd be mad.
Well, you can't afford not to.
Yeah.
You know, things are.
The only thing
I've been
that'll be left
cancelling
is
subscriptions.
Have you?
Yes,
Oh, God.
I've cancelled quite a few.
I don't have subscription.
I haven't-
Netflix. I have Netflix.
Well, I had. It's just things like antivirus stuff that I have
yeah.
that I've always paid for. Not a lot. You get a lot of good free stuff, but I have. But I've
And that,
cancelled that.
that vaginal deodorant you spray on yourself.
My Xbox, I've cancelled that.
Oh, have you?
Just
Jeez.
for a while. Just for
Ah.
a while until things get back on their feet. I've got to save money.
Well, the power companies have said no. These prices are going to stay like
Yeah.
this forever.
Yeah.
Oil prices went down
Yeah, they've gone down dramatically.
dramatically.
Yeah.
They're fucking us. I'm telling you. That have you heard of a guy Zahawi? He was the chancellor for a week and a half.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
call him the horse warmer.
Mm-hmm.
He was one of the founders of YouGov, a very wealthy man,
Right.
multi-millionaire, dodging tax. We paid to put his heating system in his stables for his horses.
Yeah.
So he's a horse warmer. It turns out he's been dodging tax. Not illegal, but he's had to pay this load back. They are asset stripping. It's asset stripping going on, and it's happening in front of people, but people are so busy
It's
blaming
venture
poor
capitalism,
people.
yeah. Oh, it's always blame the poor people.
Blame
well,
poor
if you
people.
can't afford it, you should have worked harder.
Blame them folk. Well, you can't live in that money. Fucking put
My-
tinfoil behind your ears. Come
My
on.
electricity bill is $270 a month.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
They've put up to $270 a
You can
month.
switch off. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't. I've still got to pay $270.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
That's before I've even used it.
How far does people get?
$270.
How far does the
Can't
British
afford it.
nation get pushed till we become like the French?
Mm.
Because God bless the French in
Yeah.
many ways.
Their fuel went up 8% and they were on the streets.
Yeah.
Ours went up 300 and nobody done fuck all.
You know what my theory is? Our TV's too good. Pacifies people.
Oh, shit.
France has terrible television. Spain, terrible television. They're out
Furious.
doing stuff in the streets. No, but it gets to a stage
That's a
you've
good
got to
point.
think, why are we paying these cunts for this? It's too much.
There's got to be something done at some
Yeah.
point because there's a breaking point
Yeah.
where it's like I'm in the situation where I was saving for surgery
Okay.
and now I can't
How
do
many
that.
how many inches we adding? Double it to 2?
Double it to 2. Oh, I wish. No. I think 2 inches is wide enough for any woman. I don't. But no, my savings are going to have to sit in case I need them now.
Yeah.
I can't go and get surgery.
That's
And I
brutal.
was so close, man, to getting it. I was so
It's-
close.
We were speaking the other day about the Royal Mails and a bit, if they would get rid of Saturdays and
Yeah.
they're trying, this is what they do though. You make a business fail
Yeah.
so you can asset strip it.
Yeah.
They're doing it with the NHS. They're making it seem so bad and continuing to downgrade it. They're going to come in with some business plan. But as I always say to people, I'm fed up hearing that fucking the private sector's got all the answers.
Yeah.
Debenhams, Woolies, all these business-minded,
God.
entrepreneurial people,
Yeah.
they never saw what was round the corner.
Mhm.
There's something to be said for doing, nationalising stuff and just doing it. Make sure there's no the corruption that creeps in and the laziness. You
Yeah.
can't have things too flabby. But at the same time, just make... Your electricity, your water and your NHS should all be nationalised. And the rail as well. That's not a controversial
No,
thing to say.
it should be.
'Cause
It's been a failure. It's been a failure.
all these much vaunted stuff has been a
Yeah.
failure. BT, it got privatised. What happened to that?
It's
shit?
just not only did BT fail, they've been left behind by how many
Yeah,
companies?
yeah.
They're just
So
junk.
they weren't that a good private business.
No.
They just asset strip. Tesco's, they go, private sector's wonderful. Tesco's management, they were like fucking princes of Rome.
Yeah.
They were all, the CEO and that were all going about in private jets.
Yeah, it's not what people think. You can't. Now the thing is, the answer to saying there's a lot of capitalism failed does not suddenly become communist.
Oh no, it's not.
There's just clear failures, so they have to be fixed. You can't just keep flogging a dead horse.
If I was a billionaire, the first
Yeah.
thing I would employ is some fucking capable people that could maybe see what's happening, see what trends are coming down the pipe.
Mm-hmm.
You know, remember the poor blockbusters got offered Netflix?
Oh, for next to nothing.
Nothing.
They went, no, I'll never
don't be
take
so.
off.
No, folk are never. Why? You know when I learned this? When smartphone technology, the swipe screen came in,
Yeah,
and somebody showed me one, and I goes, that's never going to take off.
yeah.
And since then, any new technology appears, I'm like, that's the future. It's the same with the trans debate.
Yeah.
I just look at it the same as touchscreen. I think that's where things are going. It's not cut. It's not going to go away.
Yeah,
So
that's
it's the
right.
future.
So that's the future. No,
You-
I agree. That's
When
it.
when any step goes forward, there's no retracing more steps. So the trans thing is going to be the future. It's just going to be
I'm
like
happy
it's gonna
to
be
move
like, it's
into
gonna be
the
like
future.
boring. Like everything becomes boring. Like gay
That's-
people are now boring.
Boring. Now that's my superpower.
Yeah,
I don't care.
yeah.
Now, I've said this before, and people go, "Oh, you don't care, you should care." I went, "No, you're not listening."
Mm.
If I say to someone, "Here's who I am as a person," they went, "Oh, but I don't care about that. We're caring about these issues." I went, "Wouldn't it be great if we all just didn't care about each other's issues? We're to
Yeah,
that stage
just
where
yeah.
it was boring. We're
Yeah,
to that
yeah.
stage where no one
Yeah.
bothered. That's where
Yeah.
I am. I don't get in anyone's way to live their life any way they choose. It's none of my, and I don't think negatively in it.
No,
It just,
no.
do
I
you know
was
what I
showing a
mean?
TikTok.
It's
I'm
crazy.
not on the TikTok much, but I was showing a TikTok video,
yeah,
and it's these two gigantically fat gay guys. I
Okay.
think they're Welsh.
okay,
And it's the funniest thing I've ever seen. It's two fat guys ordering food and then saying this is our last meal because we're on the diet, and they're following TikTok as them eating more food. It's just a joyous, fucking hilarious, ridiculous. It's stupid.
Yeah.
And I like it. Ridiculousness and daftness. But I just feel like walking about Dundee yesterday, everybody was like that. Oh. And there was a lot of fucking holy rollers with loudspeakers.
But this is what happens. They'll move in.
They've moved in.
They'll move in.
And I thought,
At a
fucking
time
hell,
of strife.
it's getting like medieval.
See, because those kind of people say, no, when people are struggling, we need to be there. No, they take advantage.
Yeah.
The same as there's no difference between the church and cash generator.
No,
they're exactly the same.
They want more bums and pews. They want more. They want more for the collection box.
Yeah, that's all it is.
But I just don't. Somebody radical. The guy that's the big chief of Dundee City Council, ken him with the big eyes. He looks like he lives in a cave.
Yeah.
SNP guy. I think he's about 31 or something. Don't like the look of him.
Odd
looking. Don't like the look of him. He looks a bit. He's Summon of the Night. Summon HP.
It's like someone who would
Lovecraft.
work on Sky and Loch Alsh.
Yeah, he would. But he's brought in as this young guy. He's obviously got no ideas.
Yeah.
None.
Nothing.
The need, I don't really like, it's almost...
We need some freakonomics. We need someone with not a dog in the...
Yeah, just... Or some crazy ass Dundee guy just with an idea. Somebody with a passion and
It's
a
like when they went into
Somebody
Lochee.
loves it, yeah.
They went into Lochee and they said, we're going to put a new road through it.
Yeah.
And we're going to put all the buses on this road. And then that'll bring everyone into
They just
Lochee.
fuck it.
But they put it to the bottom.
Oh.
So people are just waiting now. Nobody
Yeah.
gets off. And the old people that moved, now this bus route had been there for 70 years.
Right.
So people had moved to
Yeah.
live on that bus route, old people, and they've taken it away.
Oh, fuck. The impact, that is pure
Right.
economics. isn't
And
it?
they cut through the middle.
But seemingly the
but then-
buses aren't coming. Some old lady was saying to me, 4 of our buses were all cancelled.
That's what happened to my mum the other day. She was in town, she come in freezing.
What,
They're just cancelling them all.
they've not got the staff.
They've not got the staff. They said it's illness, but they're cancelling routes like fuck.
Fuck.
And the buses are expensive.
Remember that fucker, Suter?
Uh-huh.
Him that had...
Yes.
He was involved with Megabus, wasn't he?
He owned Megabus, yeah.
But what he would do was, this is capitalism in its rawest. There was a bus company called Happy Bus, and they're down in England somewhere. They're a very beloved local bus company, family firm. And he went in, and he would run a bus in front and behind, cheaper. And he just destroyed the company.
That's
and then they went in, and suddenly you've got to pay them.
Yeah.
It was just...
It's just...
But like I say, we're not talking from a communist
A
perspective.
great thing about Suter,
Yeah.
he's extremely anti-gay.
Oh,
And there was
to a point, I suspect he is a self-hating gay.
Probably, and there was posters everywhere with him on it, and it was against this change in a law. I can't remember what the law was.
Clause 20 or something.
Something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
And he said, if you want to give donations, send them in. I'll pay for the postage. Just send them in.
Oh, yeah.
People were sending in breeze blocks, fridges, everything. You had to pay the postage. They were the heaviest shit lead. They were sending
You never
everything
see him
to
now. You never see him.
Piece of shit.
His sister is a woman called Anne Gloag.
Okay.
And Anne Gloag does a lot of charity work in Africa.
Right.
But she's one of these people, she bought an estate in Scotland somewhere, but then I think she was unhappy that people with the right to roam.
The right to
didn't
roam,
like folk
yeah.
on her property. But she was all these orphans she was doing. But I think it turned out none of them were orphans. It was all an elaborate scam they were working against.
Oh my
them.
God.
Anne Gloag. But you never hear of Brian Suter anymore. He's
He's a
bad
piece
skit.
of shit.
Just
Piece of shit.
disappeared.
Now, to explain to our international listeners, we have the right to roam in Scotland.
Oh, you can go everywhere.
Which you can go anywhere. You could walk through a farm. As long as you don't go through the field, keep to the edge.
Keep to the
don't
edge and
destroy
shut
any
gates,
and
shut
shut
gates.
gates. If someone has, this is all my private land, you go, yeah, whatever, mate, and you can walk through it.
You can walk through it as long as you have... Yeah, don't set up a tent and have
No,
a
don't set up
bonfire.
a tent, but you can go anywhere. You have the right to roam. There's no trespass law in Scotland.
No.
So, right, next news.
A guy I found in my garden a few weeks ago said very much similar.
Yeah, but you kick the fuck out of him.
Well,
Yeah.
he walked in happily, but
He didn't, yeah.
taken a while for my cat to eat most of them.
Oh, God, right. How's your cat doing?
He's fine. He's since me and him had a little bit of an incident.
All right. He
When
was...
attacked me and I had some strong words with him.
Yeah, he was...
I had him by the scruff. I thought I was going to drown him in the bath. But since then, he can't get enough. He follows me about. It's just
because you said you're the boss, so he's
I'm the
happy with
boss.
that.
He loves
yeah.
it. He just loves it now.
My cat's... He had a rough week there, but he's
Did he?
doing better now. He's doing better
Yeah.
with this illness he has.
Oh.
But he's... Yeah,
Cats are just on the verge of death
They
all
are,
the time.
they are.
It's
He's-
a wild animal.
He does so well. He does so well. And,
Yeah.
he's not well. And now today, he was doing okay.
Okay.
Right. So this actually leads on to this.
Oh,
Big cat spotted in Byron Street.
it's not. It'll be one of those. Fucking,
I'll be a junkie. Trying to pick up his dropped needles.
Wouldn't it be a big
But-
cat? It'll be one of those coons. The
The
big
Maine Coons. They're gigantic.
Big cat, but there was one already. They thought Dundee. They thought there was a puma or a.
It's the Felis Chow. They're as big as a puma. Have you seen them?
Big thing, is it?
But people buy them and you only get F1. Although I think there has been some that have bred. You know how they can't breed like a mule? Some have. They've actually been able to breed them, I think. But when you see one of them, it looks exactly like a puma. And sitting down, its head will be that high.
Is it good natured?
No, they will destroy your house. They will destroy you. There's a video you'll get online of people that were selling them in Florida, and they had this sort of like a front window, and it was cats bouncing off the roof. You couldn't go in. The people got the gloves on, trying to fight them and everything. But it's they breed them. It's a jungle cat, and they're called a Felis Chow, Chowsy, something like that.
Mental.
They are huge.
Oh no!
Look for them online. So if you want, now there was someone that had them here. Now, quite famously, before they built the main road to Arbroath, people just leaving Dundee said there's a puma running across the road. They weren't wrong. They weren't wrong. It was one of these cats. They were just letting it out.
It did cost a fortune.
20 grand.
And you just let it out.
And it's running about it. Now, I went past this area where it had been seen once, right? I never saw them, but there was all these cars, right? And what had happened, they'd seen it and they all got out to look at it. And I never saw it at all.
Right.
But for years, people have been seeing them. Now, of course, because of the Dangerous Animals Act in the 80s in this country.
Oh, they threw.
The last tiger to be sold in Harrods was 87.
Yeah.
So people just put them out. Now, these animals can live wild, and they were living wild and were breeding, right? So you did have big cats existing in this country. They were spotted, they were seen with young. I remember the Really Wild show done a thing on them.
Yeah. There was.
Yeah, you could see them.
My mother and I were out for a walk.
Right.
With the dog. And they were walking up Forestry Commission track. And coming towards us was I thought it was like a Labrador.
Right.
It was a good distance away. So I whistled the dog and put it on the lead. But the animal turned to us and walked off, and it was like a mountain lion.
You're right.
I kid you not.
No. When people see these things, don't treat them like they're seeing UFOs because they've been tracked, they've found their scat.
Like if there's animals, you're not going to. There was a guy in the fields trying to catch. They thought it was a black panther. I don't think there's a black panther going about. They're more of a jungly animal, aren't they?
Yeah,
but there's a lot of animals that'll be perfectly good. And the tracks of Forestry Commission.
Yeah,
there's so much deer in this country. It's unbelievable.
But definitely there was animals that were released and were living.
A lynx could live. Lynx lived in this country.
No problem. So they do exist and they are bred and you can buy them. That or a car.
Wow.
And they're ridiculous they're so expensive. They're ridiculous to look after.
I hate these guys that own the big cats, loads of big cats. That's always such cruelty.
Horrible.
Is that fucking Tiger Bill, whoever his name, dead yet?
No, he's still going. He's
a vile human being.
Oh, they're all pieces of shit that own these animals.
Just breeding them for petting zoos.
And then shooting them when they're too big. Yeah, it's absolutely awful.
It's vile.
But yeah, the big cats. Now, what happened?
Is there any zoos in this country now? Have they all just gone tits up?
I think there's zoos, but
they do horses. There's no. Because when I was a kid, there was a zoo came with elephants and tigers and shit.
The Dundee one still has wolves and all sorts, Now, the thing is, the locals said they vowed to shoot the beast. And the police went, oh, really? And they nipped round to them and said, what are you going to shoot it with? And they went, oh, nothing. They were all saying, we're going out like as a squad and going to shoot it. So, as always, all the locals in Dundee are armed to the teeth. But there's no guns in this country.
Rifles.
No air rifles now, man. No air rifles.
Just crossbows?
It'll be crossbows. Which, they banned air rifles and kept crossbows.
I love
it's
when
wild.
Somebody finds a rat that says really big. So they always have a photograph
close
of
to the close to the thing. With their giant hand. It's
some
always
big rats in Dundee.
Keeping on the animals. A Perthshire prisoner is in fear of his life due to aggressive beavers, angry beavers, if you will. But there's aggressive beavers.
You said Perthshire prisoner.
pensioner.
They're breaking into prison.
No,
With
pensioner.
those teeth.
I can't read what I'm writing.
With those teeth, they could probably nibble through the concrete.
I'll start again.
We're coming for you!
Right, start again.
Every
Pretend that never happened.
Imagine Shawshank Redemption, but beavers.
They
come
would
in.
help.
They would help.
Okay, can we start again?
Yeah, it's okay.
Pretend. I don't want it. Don't give me a minter. A Perthshire. Now, the funny thing is, when you say Perthshire, it's usually prisoner.
I know.
That's where the prison
They
is.
didn't live long enough to be
A
pensioners.
Perthshire
in Perth.
pensioner is in fear of his life due to aggressive beavers. They're right at the back of his house, and I think they're threatening him.
Well, they do that tail slap.
Yeah, he's terrified.
But I
He
don't
won't
think
leave his house.
They're not going to attack you.
Won't leave his house.
They're not going to come onto land to threaten you.
Have you noticed that there's a load of warships parked up in Dundee now?
Is there?
Right?
Where
Now-
about? Is there?
Well, at the docks, man.
Just
Reform
now.
Street.
Just now.
Yeah. But here's the problem. Oh, no, I don't think it's a problem. At a time where Russia has got all its nuclear weapons pointed right at us now,
Mhm.
right? They go, look, we've got 3 old ships. Park them in
But
Dundee.
you know the Russians will have sold off the uranium.
I
They're
think
just-
there's a lot
They're
of
just empty.
issues there. I think
Aye.
a lot of engine parts have been sold and stuff.
Yeah, they will have.
I think they're trying to
they
get
won't
rid
have
of
been
the-
greasing the fucking hubcap thing.
I'll just bang.
They're back because they were there a while ago. It was Norwegian boats or
Yeah.
something, and they're all getting
We
stopped.
used to get it all the time.
Yeah.
There was warships here, submarines would come in
There's
all the
something
time.
about a warship. It's fucking impressive.
They're
these
so
things.
cool.
Yeah, they're cool.
Did you ever? Now, there used to be so many submarines would come here. They used
Yeah.
to have open days.
Yeah.
And I remember the German subs came. And then you could just go down and you could walk through them
Oh,
and have a look.
fascinating. Yeah.
But they were tiny. They were diesel.
The American Army built the most expensive warships ever. They're stealth ones. Have you
Oh,
seen
yeah,
them?
yeah.
But they've-
Zumwalt
yeah,
or something.
they
something
don't,
like
they don't
that,
have
yeah.
the technology to work the things.
Yeah, I don't think they've been successful.
They've not,
They're
they
not
can't.
making any more.
No, they
Yeah.
can't. They were getting. I was getting with the new fleet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've got the proper stealth one that looked like it was in one of the James Bond films.
Okay.
And then they've got the ones that are actually being used properly, and I think
It's all
they've cancelled them all.
It's all drones now.
Well, that's the problem with stealth. That they're not really focusing on it now because you see like old 40-year-old F-15s getting
Yeah.
made still because the technology is beating stealth.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there will be a point where stealth's useless. So
Yeah.
now it's going to be like swarms,
Swarms
and
of
all
drones.
that. Yeah,
Oh,
you just
bees. They'll keep
Bees.
good time.
well swarms.
Bee
are-
soldiers.
See, the thing is,
Then I need
swarms
an
are
alarm
big.
clock.
Swarms are big planes, not bees. Not swarms this big. Big
Imagine
giant
a
ones.
billion bees coming at you. You
I've
not
been
seen that
s-
1970 films?
I've been
Swarm.
stung. I've
With
been
Henry Fonda and
I've,
that.
I've been
Michael Caine.
stung over 200 times, and I was in hospital with several nurses with me naked, picking all the stingers out of me.
You say they were nurses.
I say it was a hospital. I was stung in the eyeball
Okay.
and in the mouth,
Oh.
and my gum swole up so much.
Why would you try to eat bees?
I wasn't,
Okay. How'd a bee get in your mouth?
because I was so stung, hanging open,
Oh.
right?
Yeah.
And one got in my mouth, stung me just
Uh-huh.
here. My gum swole up so much it split my tooth in half,
Oh.
and that's the pain I remember.
Pain.
And the next morning, it was back in, and they just took the tooth out.
Oh,
They
what?
went, "There's no fixing
Speaking
that."
of swollen faces, you've not seen the world slapping competition.
I watched this last night, and I watched the guy's head turn into. Remember, there was someone on this floor that had an allergic reaction.
His face was degloving.
Yes, it was just sliding off. Did you hear the wax though? It sounded
But
like
what
gunshots.
happened at the end? Did he win?
He won because the other guy went, "I can't take it." He got me that time, and he just went, "Nah," and he won. The guy with the face falling off won. Looked like the Elephant Man on
He
a good
beat
day.
the other guy.
He looked like the Elephant Man with fillers.
Because the guy was taking the hits fine, the bigger guy.
Yeah, but he got one, and he went, "Nah, that's it." I think he got hit in the temple, and he was rattled, and he went, "Nah, no more."
I take it's a Russian sport. It looked Russian.
Right, you have to look at something,
Okay.
and I'm going to tell you the greatest program ever
Okay.
made.
Okay.
Right, and it's a slap competition, but it's called Slap Mountain, and they go up into this super uber redneck part of wherever in America, and they've got a boxing ring out in the middle. There's fights in the audience. There's women running in. They're drunk. And they just slap the fuck out each other.
Oh.
There's one scene where they're interviewing this guy before the fight. He says,
Right.
I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And in the background, you could see a guy squatting and taking a shit. It's the most amazing program, Slap Mountain,
Slap Mountain.
on YouTube.
That you do realise the rednecks are Scottish.
Is that our fault?
It's the Scots who took to the mountains. Well, you come from a mountainous country, you go to the mountains.
That's
You're
a
not in
good
the
point.
plains.
Scotland invented the American Navy. Pretty much done everything. They took the worst we had.
There was a
and put them to
Scotsman that
America.
invented the Japanese Navy as well.
Was it?
Yeah.
We're good at boats. Slap Mountain. Please watch
Slap
it.
Mountain.
What you watch one and you can't stop.
I remember seeing someone that was like a mud pool they're all swimming in, and had a sign up saying this has got a flesh-eating bug in it, and folk were still swimming in it.
Didn't care.
It said this has got an actual flesh-eating bug. If you swim in here, you're going to lose a limb.
Oh God.
There's a town in America somewhere where they all cut their hands off on purpose for insurance.
Yes, I saw that. But there was so many hands getting cut off. The insurance company went, hold on a minute.
It's legs and hands.
But it wasn't for a lot.
No,
It was like 150 grand. You
Yeah.
cut your hand off.
Yeah.
It's like,
but they were
get a
driving
job.
out. They were going out in the combine harvester on purpose. But fucking hell,
Jeremy Renner's home.
is
He's
his leg?
recovering at
Is his
home.
leg? Is he going to save his leg?
I don't know at this point.
Well, I think he would have taken off by now.
But I think, well, not really. They could wait a long time.
Oh no,
There was one guy I knew, and he had his
he's been
injury.
horrifically injured.
27 years. They tried to keep the leg, and in the end, they went, nope, that's it. So that's how long after his
Oh,
injury.
poor man.
And he struggled.
he
Just when it
drunk?
was gone.
Was he drunk, Renner?
Nope. Oh, Renner, I have
He
no
has a
idea.
look of a drinker.
He's got the bloatedness, but I don't know. But
Poor
those
bastard.
those
He was doing
machines
it-
are notorious.
He was helping his
grabbing you.
neighbours.
It's an accident.
Yeah.
It is. These
No
things.
more Hawkeye for him.
No. Professor X.
Yeah.
He'll have his own
He
wheelchair.
doesn't look smart.
He doesn't.
It's like, remember when Marky Mark played like a professor in The Happening? He took on that role because he says, I'm playing a scientist. He goes, yeah, okay.
The trees are chasing us.
Oh, that's
Ah.
that film's good, though, for shits and giggles.
You know what?
He gets threatened by a pot
the
plant. you
conceit's
realise-
fine.
Yeah.
It's a very tales of the unexpected.
Yeah.
The conceit's fine. But it's like when it's so badly executed. It's like it's a parody of
It's an M.
itself.
Night Shyamalan, all these films.
It's
He's
so
doing a new film.
Bad.
The House, the Cabin in the Woods.
Oh
Knocking
yeah,
at the
the
cabin
knock
door.
at the
Knock at the cabin
knock at the
door.
cabin. So,
Knock it.
knock at the knocking and cabin.
It's got a big Batista in it.
Oh, he's giving it his all, isn't
he?
He's really trying. I give him that. Okay, next bit of news.
His head is his top of his head looks like yours. Have you seen it?
It's the same. It's got all the
The
wrinkles.
deep wrinkles.
Dundee lawyer sends gangster tweets to SNP councillor. He said, "My pals are gangsters," in a threat on Twitter. Now, I would say he's not a good lawyer.
What's the name of this lawyer?
I'm not going to say his name, but this is what he...
One of the local firms.
Yeah, and this is what he did. He threatened someone with gangsters, a councillor, on Twitter. I'm not sure he knows how Twitter works. This wasn't... Do you think older people think it's email?
But it's the same. It's just the same as... Is Twitter exactly the same as if you say something to somebody in the street?
Yeah.
Do they treat it as such?
Do you know how many people last year in this country were arrested for saying something on Twitter?
How many?
3,300.
The police are not wanting that on their plate.
3,300 for just
Bollocks. I do see it as slightly more bollocksy.
one girl. Listen to this. She was arrested. Her friend died.
Uh-huh.
And she took the lyrics of his favourite song and put it up. But there was the N-word in it. She was arrested. She's been convicted. She's got like 500 hours of community service. She's got to wear a tag for a year. It doesn't make sense.
It was the lyrics of it. So she was quoting a
She
black,
just cut and
a
paste.
black artist's work.
Yeah. And she cut and pasted it and
That
put
becomes,
it up as,
that becomes slightly bizarre.
as a memorial to her
So
friend
you
who
can't
who died.
say you couldn't quote a piece of literature or that. Oh, that's
Depending on the words that are in it.
yeah, that's very dangerous.
But that's not even thought crime. That's...
no, I don't know.
It's
That seems,
isn't it?
yeah,
Isn't it bizarre?
Yeah,
And the police are going around and arresting people. Very famously, there was a kid in Dundee, and it was when the riots were going on in London. He's sitting in his underpants on his Xbox. He's young as fuck. And he goes, "Oh, we should head downtown and riot." On the chat,
yeah.
right? And then continued playing his game. arrested,
That's ridiculous.
found guilty.
That's ridiculous. He should have said, see if Lorraine Kelly says something. Lorraine Kelly is not Lorraine Kelly. She's playing the role of Lorraine Kelly. Lorraine Kelly PLC is a separate entity from the real Lorraine Kelly. So she could say, kill them all! And they can't because it's a character.
It's a character. Like, these are
characters.
We're characters.
It's true, though. This does give us a lot of leeway.
We're characters.
Yeah, it does.
But I'm still not going to say anything to get me arrested.
No, I'm not going
now,
to
this
say.
is the now that
But
was
honestly,
shocking.
you couldn't go to the centre of Dundee and riot. You wouldn't make anything any worse. You'd improve
They
it.
might encourage it.
Yeah, it would
They might
help.
encourage it.
It would
God,
help.
that'll clean the place up.
If you
we
were
can't
throwing-
riot, there's stuff in the
If
way.
you were burning stuff, that would be a good idea because
Yeah.
you'd get.
I don't know. Okay, this is one that will shock you. Lollipop men
No, I know a guy that's a lollipop man, so nothing
Nothing
will
will shock you.
me. No, nothing.
are now not allowed to carry their lollipop, right? Because it's a distraction for drivers. That's what's meant to be. You're meant to see it. It's a
Yeah.
distraction. And they're not allowed to step on the road due to health and safety. So the only thing they can do is press a button where a crossing is.
So you don't need them.
You don't need them. So now it's not a lollipop man, it's just a man hanging out.
Well, no, it's not a man. It's a lollipop person.
Outside the school.
I heard the Adam Savage going on about the
What was he on about?
camera person, and it just I don't know, because they did a thing in the Brits where they've removed genders. There's no male or there used to be the male artist,
Okay.
female artist,
Yeah.
but it's just no. There's nothing like that now. There's no women.
This is
It's women that will suffer on that occasion. I don't know. It's overheated sometimes. My brain
It
is
is
kind of
overheated.
Yeah.
But the problem is with you say, well, there doesn't need to be a male and female in music. There's just the best one, but now there's less awards.
There's less.
So there's
awards.
less recognition.
Yeah.
And
I don't know.
plus it's awards. Who gives a fuck?
Who gives a fuck about the Brits?
Who gives a fuck?
But I mean, the result, they think that it's going to help, and making decisions often don't necessarily help the situation. Somebody's been a bit clever, and it just, I don't know. I don't know.
We don't know. We're not the people
We are
to talk to.
I
We're
think
not the
I'm getting
people.
thicker. Well, I would say my dad reckons I'm
I
getting
can
more surly about things. I'm becoming a curmudgeon.
You are.
I my remote control, my telly, I can go through it so quickly. There's so many people annoy me. There was some fucker on the telly this morning who's written a children's book.
Okay.
He was in some band. I think they're called Busted. He's got a face from the First World War. He's got very ugly bastard with high hair.
Tall.
Yeah,
Tall guy.
Yeah,
He's a
I think
singer from it, yeah.
terrible piece of shit. But with people, I love like children's authors, right? Lovely stuff. A good children's author can mean it, encouraging people. I hate celebrities who write children's books.
Well, I wrote a children's book.
Right, you're good. You're not a celebrity.
I'm not a celebrity.
Okay.
And I don't like children.
No, it's perfect.
And do you know what the book was called?
What?
And I think this is why I'm allowed to do it. It was called Cat Sick.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. It's like, well, it's very like Adrian Mole. Kids like stuff that's kind of quite...
And it was about it's not poetry, it was more limericks. One of them was called My Mum Farted at the Kitchen Table. I tried it on kids. Holy shit, I thought they were going to kill them with the laughing they did.
Yeah. Mums do fart.
That's true. And Cat
Everyone
Sick.
farts.
And
Yeah. No, kids like stuff like that. Kids
That Horse
like,
Has 5 Legs. That
Kids
was
like
another one.
horror and kind of stuff like that. But
Yes.
I don't think though. I think it's all a little bit sanitized for kids now.
No, kids need scary stuff. They need
Yeah.
disgusting stuff. They need all that sort of. It's good for them. It's good
Yeah.
for them. Now, Dundee Uni.
Oh God, see what are they up to?
Car crashed through the wall of it.
Always in Dundee.
Right through the wall.
Which bit?
There was just the I can't remember the name of the building. Look online, you'll see a
The one with
picture.
the car hanging out it.
And it's it's just the end of the car. It went straight through. Nobody was hurt. Nobody was in the classroom. So not really news. But I don't know how they managed it. Straight through the wall.
Is that a case where you put your foot in the accelerator rather than the brake?
Maybe something like that. Or
He might have had a seizure.
It could be.
Down from my house, remember the guy run off the road? Had
Yeah.
a massive heart attack.
Died.
He could have taken out a lot of people.
Yeah. It's kind of
Yeah.
scary.
I
Now-
don't want to leave the house. Let's get out.
Dundee man, you'll like this.
Oh, Dundee man.
Dundee
Well,
man.
Dundee man's the same as Florida man.
Exact same.
Okay.
But the opposite, as this will explain.
Okay.
Dundee man falls asleep in sunbed. Girlfriend had to break into it to save his life. In Dundee, a sunbed's a 40-watt lamp. If we're in the room with a vivarium, we'll get burnt.
Jesus. There's no this salons, this tanning salons there used to be.
Yeah,
There
they've
used
all
to be a
closed.
lot in
They've all
Dundee.
closed. But why did this guy's... why did they have a lock on it?
Padlock out them. Well, no, Ken, when you climb inside a fridge, you ever
Yeah.
tried to get back out again?
But-
There's no handle on the inside.
But you think that you would just lift it? Why is there a system to stop it opening?
I don't know. I have no idea.
It doesn't sound safe. But he was quite badly burnt.
Fuck.
There was a picture of him, and he had the goggles on. So when he took them off, his eyes, he looked like he was possessed. This area was so white. It was the funniest thing I've
That
ever
poor
seen.
bastard. He
Oh
couldn't
my
have go
God.
to your work.
He was bubbled.
Couldn't go to your work.
Nah.
He wouldn't have a job, though.
But see, in a week, he'd be like, "You seen my tan?
Aye.
Oh, I
It was
love my
worth it.
tan.
It was
Yeah, it was
worth
worth it. It was worth it." A report into Dundee's Winterfest failure, which shut 20 minutes before it was due to open.
Was that this year?
Yeah, was due to the ice rink's ice being too thin. And you know what happens when you skate on thin ice?
It was a very underwhelming little... So that failed.
That failed.
I didn't think it was very busy.
Nobody. It was shut.
Fuck's sake.
It was shut. Do you know Dundee? Right,
Oh.
Dundee. I think this is my
But
last one.
nobody's lost their job over that. Nobody's got in trouble.
It's just
They just, fuck it.
they were blaming it on Belgium.
Just fuck it.
The Belgians.
stop.
The Belgians.
They've spent money on that. That's cost a fortune.
The ice rink came from Belgium,
Uh-huh.
and they said they arrived a bit late, so there wasn't enough time to make it thick enough. So 20 minutes, people are queuing outside with their skates.
And they're freezing
20,
it.
and they're like, they've got their $5 or whatever it costs to get in. And 20 minutes, they went, nah, can't get in. Why? It's all water in there.
But it was on for it would have eventually got thick.
Yeah, but they said it was a failure. But this goes on to the next award that Dundee's won. We've won an award, and
Oh,
I'd like
God,
to
what is
share it with
this?
the world. Dundee has won the cheapest place to party during the festive season in the UK, and I'll tell you why. Everything was shut.
There's
There was nothing open.
Dundee's famously bad at Hogmanay. There's nothing to see.
Other cities have complained because we won on a technicality because everything was shut. This is not a joke. This is Dundee's award.
It's a shit. Honest to fuck, Dundee is so shit at Hogmanay.
They get it so wrong.
People I know were going to go doing the pubs. It was all ticketed events.
Yeah,
It was just a disaster.
disaster.
Nobody was going about.
When I
And all
when I
the
was a kid,
taxi companies have shut.
so
So
there's
nobody
nothing.
can get a taxi. So everybody's just stuck.
So you got to walk like
Miles.
I've got 2.5 miles home. Now, when I was 16 and you were sort of going out for the first
Yeah.
time at New Year and
Ah.
everything, when you
Ah.
went into the town, mobbed.
Oh,
I mean, when you went to the actual centre, you couldn't get in.
Yeah.
There was thousands of people.
they discouraged it.
Six
Well,
people.
you know what happened? The businesses in the centre of town stymied it. They said, no, it's vandalism.
Yeah.
So they all stopped it, and it's never recovered.
Had the
Dundee,
big fair on.
What infuriates
everything.
me, Dundee is a big city, big enough city. It's not got any event. There's no,
Nothing.
is there? Nothing.
Nothing.
Stirling's got that fucking great crime festival. Edinburgh's got Edinburgh stuff. Glasgow.
We'll have what's
Aberdeen.
left of the Blues Festival.
It was called the Blues Bonanza, but now it's called something blue.
I think the guy died or
Almost
something
Blue.
that had it.
Aye, but you can't base just.
You can't. That was like Groucho's. The guy who owned it kept it going, a record shop for all these years, and then he died.
Yeah.
But as soon as he was gone, it wasn't going to last, and
No.
it didn't. It didn't.
I walked past that the other day.
Yeah.
The store wheelie bins in front of that shop, so they've no intention of it reopening anytime
Yeah.
soon. That used to be a knocking shop and fucking fishmonger down there, I believe.
Yes. Yes.
Sleazy part of town.
It used to be. I knew a guy who was an accountant that had the office that
Yeah.
was actually the room where you got blowies.
Aye.
It seemed fine when I was in it.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
There's a
it's
similarity between accountants and hookers if you think about it.
exactly the same.
Similar
This
job.
accountant I'm talking about wasn't even qualified.
Of course.
But he was. He was accountant. He was an accountant and he just
well,
was
there's no
never
accountants.
qualified.
There's no accountants now because the computer just does everything.
does
for
it
you.
does it for you as it comes in?
There's an accountant down for me, and I think you just go in and he just goes on his phone.
Yeah, it does. Like,
An app you could have yourself.
it's pretty much the way it is.
So I don't know where the future lies. I used to think we were the future of Dundee, but
I'm going to be.
I think the task's too big.
It's too much. I think.
It's Herculean task ahead, and I think we're
Well,
not.
the thing is, we've got people who have visited Dundee because of us.
3.
It's a start. It's more than look.
It's more than the Dundee City Council
The
have
Dundee
managed.
City Council, their tourist part was fucking banned from Twitter. I don't know why.
Oh no, that wasn't an official account. The
was that
Dundee
not?
Tourist Board. No,
Was that
I
not?
think it was just some aggressive person.
Because they were banned. They were banned.
Well, the V&A's undergoing a readjustment, shall we say?
A readjustment right into the tea. What a load of shit. All the money's gone.
I've
into
not
that.
heard anything about the Eden Project. I'm slightly worried.
You know what? I'll believe it.
Because I read
When
an
I see
article and it turns out the Eden Project could be a bit of a scam now. Because there's
yes.
a lot of them.
There's a lot of them.
So I think they come into town a bit like a snake oil salesman.
Yep.
Get some money and then never provide.
Unfortunately, this is what I've
So I think
picked
Dundee's
up
been
as well.
hoodwinked.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. I was looking forward to that.
I thought if there'd been an Eden down south and an Eden here, that's it.
No,
But
there's 10 of them.
yeah, there's loads, and I think there was meant to be a lot more than that, and it's come down to that. So there's a lot of shenanigans going on.
Fuck.
A lot of
This is so
shenanigans.
depressing. I'm depressed.
But no,
I'm glad I
no.
didn't drink anymore.
No, this is flux.
Is that a state of flux?
This is flux, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
It happened before. In our lifetime, we've seen it.
You're sounding a bit like Graham Hancock.
But mainstream scientists won't believe what I'm saying.
I know.
I'm right.
I'm right.
I'm
yeah.
right. I make shit up, and I'm right.
Economists, those
You know?
mainstream, big
Mainstream
economy.
people with jobs. Fuck them.
Sugar and all that.
I think it's flux, and I think if there's going to be some smart people who are going to see what's going to happen to high streets and that, and it's going to evolve. It's going to change.
Rickshaws. That's my solution.
And it goes wrong in times because you remember
Decent street food. Like they have a European market in Dundee and it's the most overpriced bag of shit you've ever seen.
have you seen the girl that sells the sausages?
You dirty bastard.
She's like a supermodel. They accused her. I
Did
queued
you
once.
buy a Nuremberg ring off
I
her?
went and got a sausage and it cost me £10 and I don't even eat meat at the time. I just had to speak to her.
You dirty bastard.
She's the most stunning, nicest person you've ever
I
seen in your
walked
life.
past,
She's lovely as
I
well.
walked past the little tram in Dundee and it said, now selling Pez.
Pez.
I thought, wonderful.
No,
Wonderful.
someone's going to come in. Now, back in the 70s, I remember, the 80s, I remember being a kid and things were changing.
Mm-hmm.
The big shopping centres were collating, they were coming together,
Yeah.
things were evolving, and people didn't know what to do, so they opened the Rollerama,
Oh.
and it was roller skating.
Yeah.
And it was great for a while,
Uh-huh.
right, but it didn't work. It was the wrong time. Go and open one now.
A Rollerama.
Something
It's
you
all
can't get. You
it's
can't
all
buy it online.
Instagram moments. People would do
Yes, go and open a roller rink now and see what happens.
because the Olympia's shut.
Yeah, the
They
Olympia's
don't really
shut.
like you taking cameras in the swimming pools. Though.
Oh, that's, you know what I mean.
Get what I'm saying?
Fucking fun police. But you imagine opening a roller rink now,
Mm-hmm.
right? With maybe even a wee bar at the
I know what
back.
they should do. City Square,
Yeah,
fill it with those little balls, big ball pit,
a ball pit. Could you
Giant.
imagine the shite in it?
or just constant laser questing,
You got to do things.
paintballing.
Yeah, things that are going to be.
Turn that fucking one of those
Cultural.
empty buildings
Mhm.
into a paintball place.
Just run around shooting each other.
Inside, it could be fucking
Amazing.
awesome. It could be amazing. I've never played paintball.
Hurts
I
like
can
you
imagine
wouldn't
it would,
believe. I
yeah.
went once. I didn't
Ah.
enjoy it
Who
much.
did you go with?
Oh God,
Colleagues,
it was,
work,
no,
pals?
it was friends that
Oh.
had tickets and said, "You want to?" It's like this corporate ticket,
Okay.
but they just went on a
Did you
weekend.
make any kills? No.
I think I hit someone.
sneaky.
There
No,
was
aye.
one 10-year-old a shot in the back.
Oh, fucking easy
But-
stuff.
No, I got hit once. I went, "Oh, this is awful." Sore
Aye.
as fuck,
I don't
right in the
fancy.
kneecap. But that
Ah.
was just out at the back of Dundee. They had a place set
Okay.
up with loads of hay bales and stuff, and you'd
Hey,
run
Wilson,
around.
I
It
wanted
was
to
kinda
look
shit.
urban environment.
Fucking.
Just fucking.
I remember up in Lochee, the bowling, they used to have the Zap Zone.
Oh, I'd never been.
And
But
it was shit. But if someone went in on one night and they ran it right, they'd put the smoke on. So when you shot the lasers, it looked spectacular.
yeah, okay.
Everyone's shooting at each other and stuff.
Yeah.
But I ran into a wall and I
Ah.
was winded, and this fucking wee kid ran up and shot me in the chest.
Oh,
I couldn't breathe. I was going, help, help.
just lying there.
Well, the thing is, they had you'd go upstairs. There's an upstairs, downstairs, and it was open in the middle. But they put all these barriers.
Ah,
So you would run and not see the barrier, and I went right into it. You chopped myself in
I went
half.
to this. It was a Zap Zone in Glasgow. I went to when my students. Everybody was pissed, but there was a guy in there that was like a kind of ex-military guy, and he was taking it all too seriously.
There's always
he
one.
was like fucking buttons on the foreheads.
There's always one.
Can need people cable tied. Summary executions, all kinds of shit.
One night I went into the Zap Zone.
Aye.
And there was guys there meaning it, all the short haircuts. I think they were squaddies, right?
Oh, fuck.
So because I took out a packet of crisps and I was eating it, and shooting people, the guy slapped out my hand. He says, "You playing this fucking game or not?"
Oh, fuck that.
So I just took the gun off and threw it at him. So it turned into a whole thing.
The Zap Zone's gone and the bowling's gone, is it?
It's all gone, man. It's all gone. They're
Chubby
all...
Checkers? Was it Chubby Checkers nightclub? Was that gone? It's a toy store now.
Oh no, that was the venue.
The venue got closed because of all the stabbing.
That was the stabbing and the shooting.
Okay.
That got that. But
they've demolished the cinema. I believe
the cinema was just demolished last month.
Okay.
And that sat empty for
it was
15 years.
There was still popcorn in the machine and tickets and everything.
Well, there was Urban Explorers went in.
It was nuts.
And they said it's shut. And even the managers and that didn't go back, so no one could get in. And they locked the door and walked away.
Yeah.
Just one day, and everything was still Jurassic Park tickets still or whatever.
Brilliant.
Everything was still there.
That's nuts.
It was
really
everything was there. The cash
was
machines.
Quite a good cinema. I liked that cinema.
I liked it because I could just walk up from my house to it. It was great. And they used to put on late shows. So on a Saturday night, you'd go up at 11 o'clock and watch The Crow. It was. I'd seen it.
Bastard.
I'd seen it 7 times.
Oh, I hate The Crow.
And when I went up, The Crow's great. And when I went up,
no, it's not. I like
good.
seeing it when he's dead, and you're like, that's no him. That's the only good bit of The Crow.
Shut up! It's amazing. And actually, you want to know something? I think it's amazing because he died, not because of the feeling behind it. Because they go, well, how are we going to make this film? So the editing and everything was actually incredibly good to save it. Okay. So it gave it a certain look that wouldn't existed if he'd done all the scenes.
Okay. It's a bit annoying.
Because Alex Proyas, that's his name. He's not a great director, although Dark City was amazing.
Dark City is one of my favourites.
It's a great film.
Better than The Matrix.
Oh, yeah. Amazing
Genuinely
film.
Brilliant film.
But Gods of Egypt.
Oh, Jesus, that's a bad film.
Oh.
That was some Australian tax dodge.
It's so bad. It's
Big Jerry's in it.
Yeah.
Big Jerry.
I'm from, where's it? Cairo and all that, Ken.
Yeah.
And got any Iron Brew in Cairo?
Did they just darken his eyes a wee bit? Oh,
God,
dear.
It's so offensive.
It is offensive. It's shite.
It's so offensive.
And they're a weird scale, like they're big.
Yeah, and it's
I
get
have
the
sex
point.
with people and stuff.
I get the point of it, but it didn't come across.
It did not work well.
It did not work.
It did not work.
So
well.
that's an update in the news.
So there's a bleakness here.
There is a bleakness because I've been watching things on the news.
I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos.
But now it's happening around me. It's a bit shocking.
I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos about American cities.
Yeah.
They're just fucked.
Been bankrupt and
And there's no, it's a point where I don't know how you save these places. Like they say Baltimore, they're just having to the population shriveled.
Yeah.
So they're literally having to demolish stuff. They can't maintain these
so
empty.
They're just demolishing.
Yeah, but somebody will come up with something.
We're in flux at the moment, and I'm telling you, if you've got the money, a roller rink.
Yes, as long as they keep Chris Shadowins away from everything, it'll be all fine.
It'll be fine. We'll be fine.
As long as they keep him away.
So join us on Patreon and stuff. I'm really pushing it. It's not worth.
You're good.
It's not worth. It's not worth.
Yeah,
we're losing more than we're gaining. But the point is, I'm keen. I've got energy.
Oh, you're keen as mustard.
We're in flux. Our numbers are going up a lot. Last night was our 5th biggest download day ever.
The whole Sky and Lacalche thing has done big numbers.
I think you know what?
Those tutors just love a bit of
I think we could get a job. Listen, right? If we just stop, I don't think you're allowed to swear on licensed radio.
No, on Sky and Lacalche. You know what we should do?
But
we
apart from that, we could do.
What we'll do. We'll pretend we're the reporter from Dundee.
Yeah.
Pretend we're on a helicopter because I can do the helicopter impersonation, and we just
okay. Wait, right. We're over Dundee at the moment. We can't believe what's going on. There's a car went straight into the university. Paper chase looks closed. It's awful.
There you go.
Oh my God!
Reach out to us.
No, I've got an idea. Right, quite seriously.
Aye.
We do a recording to
Uh-huh.
look for a job,
Oh,
and we'll send it to them.
oh, wonderful. Do you? Has anybody love bombed Adam Gordon yet?
Yeah, go
Do you think
and
anybody's done it?
go and send them some
Because
love.
I've been looking up some lovely stuff. He's been doing some reporting from
Excellent.
some docks. He's been.
Oh, a dock.
I
Oh,
mean, a
we've got
dock with
docks.
some
We could do
boat.
it.
We could do it.
I've seen a boat.
We could twin. We could twin. You know how they always twin like fucking Dundee with Gutenberg or some
Yeah.
obscure Bavarian something or other. We could twin Dundee with Skye.
I had a boat.
You owned a boat.
A little rib,
Uh-huh.
right? So, inflatable but
Where did
hard,
you? Yeah.
half
Where
and
did
half.
you keep it?
And it was kept at a friend's place,
Uh-huh.
right?
Uh-huh.
And it was called an anchor.
Uh-huh.
And someone used pen to
Uh-huh.
write W, and it couldn't come off, right? And you couldn't put sticker. You'd only have to paint over it. So for ages, I would go around on the wanker, and it was called the wanker. Everyone called it the wanker. Are you bringing the wanker down?
Okay. That's a cheeky.
It
There's a
was
big-
fun. I was angry, but I thought that's
Somebody
good.
drew a big cock down in the city centre the other day I saw. But the balls were like two circles.
Oh,
But it was pointing down the way.
oh,
Unusual.
A girl's point of view.
I think it might have been a female hand. I'm not
I
sure.
think I've noticed if a penis is drawn and the balls are separate, girls draw that.
Yeah, okay.
Boys do them together.
Oh, interesting.
I'm just saying. There is a difference in the
I
sexes.
think that's a good
And that's the only difference.
That's the only difference.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Please wash your balls.
wash your balls. You haven't said that in quite a while. It's
not-
been pointed out.
It's no, please, God, wash your balls. I want them
Wash
to
your balls.
I want them to treat Dundee City Centre like a giant set of balls,
Give them a clean.
and they need to wash those.
Get the chewing gum off it.
Central balls.
Get the chewing gum off your balls. Until next time.
Later.
Later.
Ta-ra, ta-ra.